If you've never replaced your stove rope before, and this is your stove rope, there's a few reasons why you should do. The main reason though is just because you'll have a more efficient fire. By that what I mean is, if your stove rope isn't working or isn't sealing properly around here, then all that's going to happen is you're going to get air coming in from wherever it's not sealing. And that's basically just like having your vents open and allowing air to come in. So anything inside will burn faster and it'll probably burn unevenly as well. So that's the main reason to do it. And the times when you do have to replace it are if it's hanging off somewhere and letting air in, or in this instance, the challenge that I've got is when I close it, you can tell that it's not creating a seal. And what that basically means is the doors come away further and I can't adjust the hinge, or basically this is just compressed over a period of time. Now, what I did wrong was I ordered, I think this is 12 mil, and so 12 mil is the diameter, and it's too small. So when it's actually closed, that's when you're not getting the seal, and I think it's on this back end here. So what I've done is I've ordered a 16 mil. I'm going to take this one off and I'm going to show you how to put the new one on. Really, really easy. Really easy. First thing that we've got to do is take the door off. And more often than not, all that is a case of is just lifting the hinges up. The challenge here is, actually, you can't see it from there, but this is at an angle from where I tried adjusting it to take the door to, but I couldn't do. So let's just see if I can get it up with this first. And there we go, door's off. Pop that on the floor. Right, so all we need to do now is just take this old rope off. Let's get that done. Right, because this is relatively recent cement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an old drill bit just to help me get it off. And then just to take it off there, just use the edge of the knife. Right, so that's got rid of all the loose cement out of there. I'll give this a clean up and then we'll get cracked on and fitting the rope. Just a bit of general purpose cleaner. You can use glass cleaner, pretty much use anything you want. Really, I suppose I should have put the air wash on it the last time I used it so that this was all burnt off the glass. That's done. Give this channel one last clean out. Two things that you're going to need. One is the rope, and this one's 16 mil, and the other one is, well, this one's called Reed's High Temperature Rope Seal Adhesive. Really easy to use. And we'll do a dry run on this to cut it to size. Then we put this into the channel, leave it for a few minutes just to go off, and then we lay this onto it. Before I do that though, so this is the one that I fitted previously. That's 14 mil, sorry, that's 12 mil I think. And then I bought this one, which is exactly the same, so that's how stupid I am. And this is the one that I wanted, 16 mil. So, move that out of the way. Decide where you want your start and finish point to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this off to make it neat. Right, that's about as neat as I'm going to get that. And I want it to start and finish on the hinge end, in the middle. So basically all I do is just run it round, literally doing a dry run on it. See where it finishes, mark it and cut it. Just double check. Okay. And we want it cut just there. So that is how it's going to sit like that. So we'll take that off. We're going to run the cement into there, and then we're going to bed this in a few minutes. Right, so as I say, it reads high temperature rope adhesive. Take that off. We're going to cut that off there. Probably just, no, cut it off. So that's cut off. And then just run a bead all the way around. Make sure it's shaken first. There we go. Certainly doesn't have to be a thick bead. Nearly there. Just double check for any gaps. Right, so that's done. And we're just going to leave that now, as I say, for a couple of minutes. And then we'll lay the bead in it. Right, okay, so we've left it for a few minutes now. I've got a damp cloth there just to wipe away any overspill if there is any. But now all we're going to do is just lay this in. We'll press it into place more firmly in a moment, but just run it round as we did on the dry run. Making sure there's no bits on it. And then we'll press it home all the way around. And that's going to soak into the rope, and it's a really, really good adhesive. Okay, now we're going to leave that for 24 hours to set now. All finished. As you can see, it's set perfectly. There's no movement as I'm running my finger around. I've had to make adjustments to the hinges, which I'll show you in a moment, because this rope is actually thicker than the previous one. So I've had to take the door further away from the stove itself. But let's see it in situ now. This door, really easy to fit on this particular stove. The hinges themselves are just these pins, and all you've got to do is just marry the pin up to the hole in these hinges, and away you go. And this is what I've had to amend. I've had to pull them further out basically. So let's get it. And it sits on. So you just bring it over, line the pins up with the holes, and they should just drop in, just like that. Just make sure it's home, and that's it. And now I'll show you the seal that I'm getting with it now. So now, because we've got the seal at the back there, the hinges have been moved. So when this closes, it's at the same distance away from the aperture there. And when you close it, you can see you've now got a perfect seal all the way along. Just pop that on so you can see it better. A perfect seal all the way along. None of this is loose. So great, let's get a fire going. So the fire's roaring away now, just taking hold. And I want to show you how the seal's performing. So if I damp this down, you see that the only air that's coming in now is from the top and from the bottom, and that's just from the manual baffles there. It's just basically taking everything out. What was happening before was air was coming in from the back there and from underneath, all around where the rope is. You don't get any of that now. It's really damped it down. Let's turn it back up again. It should take hold now. And there we go, it's coming back up again. So, especially when I've got coal on there, because it's a multi-fuel stove, when I've got coal on there and it's going, or when I've got timber on there and I just want to have it on its lowest, I can do now. Something that I couldn't do before with the rope that was on, because it was just hanging off all over. You've seen how easy it is to do, so just do it yourself now. And if this has been of help to you, then just subscribe. There's loads of useful things like this that are reviewed on Clough Stuff. Right, we'll just damp it down now to how I want it. So take it off the bottom so there's no air coming underneath. The one on the bottom is primarily there if you've got coal and that type of thing, because you need air coming up from underneath. So I very rarely use that unless I'm using coal, maybe just to get it going. It's the one at the top, and this is the air wash as well. So we turn that down, not all the way. Right, that's perfect for the time being. So all in all, this cost about £15 and a little bit of my time. Well worth it though, well worth it. Makes the fire so much more controllable.